Peace, happy and healthy family and friends. Welcome to Happy New Day with Ari and Jay.
Hey now, how's everybody doing today? Yeah, it's
First
like
day.
mm, it's,
Okay.
it's actually my first ever live.
Really?
Yeah, I've never gone
Oh. Oh, okay.
live. Yeah, I'm not quite the professional like you, but
I wouldn't give me all that kind of credit, but really, okay, well, welcome to the live broadcasting. Thank
right.
you for joining.
Mm,
And now we're doing lives together.
yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Mm,
So do we see anybody that has joined us just yet?
I'm not sure.
If you can hear us, say hello.
Oh,
Okay. So what is the topic for today?
oh, today's topic is, you know what? Let's start off with the question of the day. You want to start off with the question of the day?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Now, even before then,
What's that?
you know, I like to work with the elements.
Oh, okay.
So if you could hand me some fire real
Oh,
quick, and I will just do what I usually do around this time.
mm,
Okay. So uh, usually burn incense. Someone with us. This gives time for people to fill in. Yeah. Incense, it represents the feminine energy.
mm,
And we let that go, and actually it's still lit, so we can have a little bit of sage, which represents the masculine energy, as we are here, you and I,
right.
male and female, and we just do it as balanced as possible. Going in, and our topic today is we're going to actually do the question of the day, right?
Mm.
Nice. Okay. Have some scents here. And that's nice and going. Okay, so what is the question of the day?
Why? What? Oh, yes. It's why do we detox? Or what got us started in doing uh, herbal detoxes and cleanses? What is the purpose of doing a cleanse?
Oh, so there's different types of detox.
Oh, yes, yes,
Herbal is just one of them.
Mm. Different types of flushes. We have fruit cleanse, water cleanse.
Hmm.
So, I mean, there's a number of different ways to do it. But so what got you into detox?
Oh, once upon a time, that was 20 years ago, 20, yeah, over 20 years ago, 2001.
Mm-hmm.
I actually was on the campus of Howard University, and that was the year of 9/11. So uh, let me see here. The stress of that situation, being in the dorms, Fraser, third floor in the quad, um, and seeing the Pentagon burning from my dorm window, it set a lot of stress and anxiety within me on top of the diet that I had previously. Although I was very active, um, diet plus stress within a couple of weeks of 9/11, um, I had lost my sight, where I had become, um, yeah, legally blind. So I'd gone to the doctor, and I didn't receive an answer to my questions as far as my health was concerned going forward. So I chose to link up with Dr. Sadie
Mm-hmm.
and went along with his protocol. That was my first experience with detoxing.
Mm.
hmm
Oh, wow. Okay.
Changed my life, regained my vision, and still graduated in 4 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
hmm
Yeah, pardon me. I'm just sending out some invites, trying to learn how to navigate this whole
Okay.
Facebook Live platform.
Okay. So no rush here.
It's a So please forgive me, family. Yeah, it's the first time making this happen together. So we'll pull it together slowly but surely.
Yes, as the incense comes through.
Mhm.
And well, yeah, freshman year, and a lot of people didn't know that most of, or at least half of the first semester of my freshman year, I was blind. So I was walking around remembering the figures, like, oh, of my friends, because I couldn't make out their faces. So I'd be, you know, uh, on campus, I went from the back of the classroom being cute to the front of the classroom asking the professor if I can talk to them afterwards to get all of the notes together. But yeah, that was cleansing on campus was interesting.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So I got brought into detoxing.
hmm
Whew, back in '05. Yeah, '05. Yeah, 2005 was the first time doing a detox. I'd always been into natural health, but never really got into the whole detoxing or saw the value in it initially until I had a situation where I had early stage prostate cancer. So it was just before my 30, right after my 32nd birthday. Uh, it was 33. And so, and I found out on my honeymoon. And so it was. Uh, yeah, that was probably the worst time to find out that there's a challenge down below and whatnot. Especially since we had decided to wait until we got married in order to procreate. And I found out on the night of uh, when we were supposed to have the grand, uh, uh, have the grand ceremony and whatnot, that I had erectile dysfunction. And that had come from years of being a vegetarian. And then, roughly about the year that we had gotten together, um, I started back eating meat and eating things that I probably smothered this and smothered that and fried
Right.
this and fried that. And it caught up to me. And the fact that we weren't having sex prior to marriage, I didn't have any idea that I was having any issues until it was time to show up, and I didn't quite show up, unfortunately. Because I had noticed that I had lost a lot of circulation,
Mhm.
or I was cold, and so I went and got checked out, and come to find out, yeah, I had early stage prostate cancer. And so um, at that point, that's when I decided, I was told that a flush or detox would be phenomenal as far as clearing my system out. And so I tried it and did the 7 day detox. As a matter of fact, it's the one that we offer as well through Dr. Goss, and had phenomenal results. And so had phenomenal results from it. And roughly about it took me about the detox lasted 7 days, and then I went back onto my normal eating regimen, which was primarily plant based. And 2 months later, I was ready to go. And so that was the beginning of my detox journey. And ever since then, that's been a part of my daily, my yearly wellness journey.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
2005,
yes.
and we will be clear, I was not smothering anything. That wasn't me. That was a past previous
Yes,
relationship.
absolutely.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
So, what did you gain from that diagnosis?
Woo. Uh, you are what you eat. You are what you eat. And then also, um, yeah, because I had picked up some weight. I was carrying unnecessary weight because a big part of the detox is it clears your system out. And because of what you're holding, what your body's impacted with, which is feces and whatnot, it has a tendency to clog certain regions wherever there's a weakness in blood flow. And so for me, the weakness in blood flow happened to come by way of my prostate, which is common amongst, especially amongst African American men.
Hmm.
And so it was just compounded because I had been clean for years, and then to come back after the fact, and then start back eating the meats and whatnot, with the greasy foods and whatnot. Um, it really took its toll in a quick, uh, in a short amount of time. It was less than a year. I dare say it was probably more like 8, 9 months. And you know, but that detox, it definitely cleared me out, and I've been a believer ever since. And so, but yeah, but the biggest takeaway from it was um, it's not necessarily having a diet, it's more of a lifestyle. You have to really live the a holistic life to be able to enjoy things to their fullest. And so, um, health is everything, um, and health is wealth. And so, my biggest takeaway from that is I always stay on top of my health. Have I always done that? No, I've had some situations where I went through bouts of depression and over the years from the car accident I had, the accident that happened, the concussions that I had over the years when the doctors told me that I would never be able to do anything again without being in pain. Detoxing has absolutely been a cornerstone in my rehab process from the multiple concussions. I think I've had 9 concussions.
Whoa.
Yeah, since I was a kid. Um, yeah, 9 concussions.
Yikes.
Yeah, 9 concussions. Back pain, spasms, the bulging disc in my neck
I'm
from the
learning
car
stuff.
accident.
Really?
Yeah, and so yeah, detoxing has just been key in my recovery every time.
Okay. All right. And I do
Yeah.
see, I've been looking at you because you're so fine. But I see that we have some folks who have joined us. Welcome and thank you. And yeah, I'll piggyback on that because it's about how you approach the diagnosis, and it's up to you whether you make your diagnosis a prognosis, meaning you live in that state, or do you work away from the system, the symptoms. So I would say not having my diagnosis be my prognosis. And I don't think I mentioned it, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, a neurological degenerative disease. And I never owned it. No one will ever have record of me saying I have MS. No, that's something that I was told that I had. I was diagnosed with it. My choice was to live on a active space in my life where I now say MS to me, what it represents is mastering self.
Mm.
So I'll take it and transmute it, and then okay, now that can work. for me. So although there have been situations, they call them episodes, since then, it's just a way for me to come back, revert, go into self, and shift some things, whether it's leaving a certain environment,
Mm-hmm.
entering a certain environment, picking up a new art or habit, good habits. Um, yeah, but never giving up on the fact that your body always wants to heal itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a
Yeah.
blessing. I mean, I people take diagnosis, oh my God, my life is ending. And I took it as like, okay, that gives me more insight on myself. Where I call it a blessing. That's 20 years of me not accumulating the stuff that I have been eating before the diagnosis,
Mm-hmm.
doing different things that I wouldn't have done if I hadn't been diagnosed, because I would think everything's fine.
Right.
Yeah. They say from newborn to probably around what, late 30s, mid 40s, you're skating, you're riding, everything's fine. But all of a sudden, you kind of see you don't see your collarbone anymore. Your stomach may expand a little bit, and these things are because what is it? What they say? You get old. It's getting old that makes you sick. When it's getting sick that makes you old. So all this
Mm-hmm.
accumulation over the years, and you start to see the shifts in your body, that's your body trying to tell you something. And detoxing regularly
Mm-hmm.
um, keeps your body balanced.
Mm. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, as balance is key. As disease comes from being out of alignment, out of balance. It's either there's too much of something going on in your system or not enough. Too much meaning what we're eating, um, any types of GMOs, genetically modified organisms, because if you eat enough GMO foods, it's just a matter of time before you become genetically modified over time.
Oh, no.
And that just it's a self-perpetuating thing based on what we eat. And then also because of what we eat, there's a lack of nutrients. So because of the lack of nutrients, that's what so it's either too much of what of a situation, too much of something, too many toxins, or not enough minerals is what causes us to move into a state of being out of alignment, and then opens us up for disease. And so then also we look at the different things that make our body acidic. So stress makes our body acidic. The environment, our emotions,
Yeah.
and so. Uh, a lot of times, I believe the statistics show that I believe it's like almost 50% of all diseases are rooted in some level of emotional trauma or emotional blockage. And so, as a matter of fact, there's an entire encyclopedia that breaks down every disease and its emotional component
Mm-hmm.
that's associated with it. And so, emotional wellness, doing an emotional detox as well as a physical herbal detox is so important. And so, as a matter of fact, for me, um, the emotional detox was the final stage in helping me really achieve a state of high health all the way around. Because even though I had been dealing with myself physically over the years, I was still holding on to a lot of emotional trauma from my childhood, from being molested by my mother, beaten, abused, and over time, and suppressing that up until I was in my 40s. And so when I look back on um, my growth process, especially when I started to do the shadow work, which is a term used in the wellness space for working clearing out your emotional traumas. and dealing with my shadows and really going into and going deep within and opening up my heart. And once I did that, then it's allowed me to fully flourish within, and answer my calling and live in that space, 100% of the time, as opposed to teetering back and forth. Um, but yeah, emotional detoxing, that's the next step beyond physical detoxing. And so, what is that? Clean temple,
Yes,
and your body is your temple,
yes,
and it must be kept clean and on point. And to the degree that your temple is in alignment with the Most High, then you can function in your true goddess self. It puts you, makes you, brings you to the point of being at one with the Almighty.
mhm.
Mm, yeah.
So,
What's up, baby?
what have you, now that's since 2005,
Yes.
okay? And what have you learned? It could be a couple of things, but what have you learned in because you've done many detoxes,
Hmm.
herbal, and it sounds like some emotional, you've done some other things as well.
Mm, yes.
Um, how do you choose what you want to do when it's time for you to detox at any particular time?
Oh, my body, my spirit lets me know what to choose, and so I call upon spirit, and then your body always knows. The thing is whether we choose to ignore it or honor what the body is telling us determines the moves that we make. Especially after once I started to learn to really trust my intuition,
Mm.
that is the one thing that really took me to the next level was uh, trusting my like those inner thoughts of or inner feelings. Yeah, and so I feel my way through things now, and so my body lets me know because I do a quarterly detox, quarterly fast, and then I do intermittent fasting throughout the rest of the year, and so my body lets me know what's needed during that time. Especially that's how I choose how I eat as well. My body tells me what I need, what's in need once I became in tune with that.
Yes,
Hmm.
and I uh, don't like to assume that everybody knows everything, you know? So what is intermittent fasting, please?
Intermittent fasting is I only eat during certain hours of the day. I've tested out different types of intermittent fasting
Hmm.
as far as hours to find out like what's the sweet spot for me. And so um, right now I'm doing a 4 to 8 o'clock intervals. And so from between the hours of 4 to 8 o'clock, I eat. And during the rest of the time, I'll either drink water or I'll drink liquids. And that's worked very well for me, even though I'm looking to do a switch to like more like a 12 to 6 because I'm becoming a lot more active, getting back into the martial arts, working out on a regular basis. And so I need to um, step up my calorie intake a bit. The benefits of intermittent fasting is that your body has a cycle of when it does things. And so the cycle as far as when it digests food, when it processes food, when it's resting, when it's building. And so when it comes to intermittent fasting, um, technically you're not supposed to eat after 6 o'clock, any kind of like solid foods. And so you can push it to 8 o'clock. Because I think my system's still a little bit off from a time standpoint because been on the West Coast my entire life, and so adjusting to the time here pushed me back a little bit. Uh, but the intermittent fasting allows your body to completely function at its highest level because what happens is You eat foods throughout the day, but usually during a set period of time. Technically, you're only really supposed to eat once a day. But because of the modern day farming system or industrialized farming, it's growing us accustomed to eating around the clock,
Yeah.
and so or eating all day long. Actually it's a big lie because it causes a whole host of problems when people eat all day long. Uh, but that's a whole nother
It's
video.
like, oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
that's a whole nother video. But intermittent fasting allows your body to heal itself. It allows it to function at its optimal level. Gives your body time to replenish and fully process the foods and then fully build. So if you have any kind of challenges or whatnot, most people don't realize this, but the body will heal itself if it's given enough nutrients and enough rest. And if you're operating in a state of limited amounts of stress. And so, oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
What do you, what's
Mhm.
absolutely?
Oh no, I said how a person thinks. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. How a person thinks is
That's number one.
that's key because that actually is that is the key to everything.
For
Because of the
real.
thoughts that what you think you become, and what you become is based on your habits, and so. Yes, what you think is so on point. Appreciate that. You have any final words?
Uh, Healing
Healing.
is more than about physical. Uh, it's emotional, it's spiritual, it's a whole process. So, detoxing is one of those components. There are benefits to just going outside and soaking up sun, things that often we overlook. But yeah, detoxing, there's many different ways to detox. Just choose one. Just choose one. Yeah,
Mhm.
there's herbal, there's that we spoke of today that brought us both back.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the herbs of the forest detox was transformational. That's probably one of the most powerful ones that I've taken that we've
Mhm.
done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've done that one too. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a real powerful experience. That's pretty much the go-to. And then we look at do like other cleanses and things of that nature, like in between time, if the need comes about.
Mhm. Yeah, so I don't know if there was any questions or anything, and we, we do appreciate your viewership and look forward to speaking and seeing you guys very soon.
Yeah, tomorrow, nine
Tomorrow?
o'clock.
Tomorrow
Tomorrow.
at 9?
Happy New
That's what
Day
we're
with
doing?
Ari and Jay.
With us? Okay. All right, guys. You guys enjoy the best of your days, and we'll talk to you tomorrow at 9.
Tomorrow at 9.
Okay. Peace.